Very often, the deciding factor for students when they start any professional qualification is how difficult are these exams. Now, while I personally believe that the exams are, as easy or as difficult as your preparation is, in today's video, I'm going to help answer the question that is out of the US CMA and the US CPA exam, which one is more difficult? Hi guys, I'm Rushil. I'm a part of the academics team here at Zell Education, and Zell Education has trained over 8,000 students in professional accounting and finance courses. Please like, share and subscribe. Also leave your comments below with what you want to see next. Okay. Now, before I answer the question of which exam is more difficult, it is important for us to understand the exam pattern of the US CMA course and then the exam pattern of the US CPA course. What are the pass rates like for both the courses? And finally, I'll help answer the question of which one is more difficult. So guys, when it comes to the US CMA, there is just two exams that you need to clear. They basically split their topics into part 1, part 2. You write 6 subjects in part 1 all together, and you write 6 subjects in part 2 all together when it comes to the US CMA. Now, the paper pattern of the US CMA exam is quite simple. In part 1, you have 100 MCQs followed by 2 essay based questions. When it comes to the multiple choice questions, there's a question followed by 4 options. One option, of course, is correct, the other 3 are incorrect. There is no negative marking when it comes to these MCQs, and the MCQs are randomized on the basis of the unit. So, for example, your first question might be from Unit 1, the next question might be from Unit 6, the next question might be from Unit 3, so on and so forth. The questions are randomized depending on the weightage assigned to each unit or each module. When it comes to part 2, again, your paper pattern remains the same. You have 100 MCQs followed by 2 essay-based questions. You might probably be wondering what exactly are essay-based questions, so I'm going to help answer this now. Essay-based questions are essay-type scenarios where basically you will be given a huge question, which is a real-life scenario. Let's say you have to analyze a company's balance sheet, and based on that, you have to answer a set of 4, 5, 6 questions, which will basically ask you to calculate ratios or type out certain journal entries and so on and so forth in both the papers. So these questions are of course more subjective in nature, where certain times you'll be required to write down your opinions. For example, let me help you understand better. So your question 1 might be calculate the liquidity ratio based on the numbers provided. Your second question might be what should the company do to improve their, let's say, cash ratio, so on and so forth. So it's a very interactive question. Students often enjoy writing essay-based questions, and students often score very well in the essay-based questions. So this is the general format of the US CMA examination. Now, when I come to the US CPA examination, there's 4 papers that you need to clear. The 4 papers are BEC, which is Business Environment and Concepts, followed by FAR, Financial Accounting and Reporting. You have REG, which is Regulation, that is essentially US taxation and federal law. And the final paper is Auditing and Attestation. However, you need not write the papers in the exact order that I mentioned, right? You can choose any paper you want to write first, and so on and so forth. There's 4 exams that you need to clear. The paper pattern for each paper remains the same. They basically split their exam into 5 testlets, where the first 2 testlets are MCQ based questions. Again, just like the US CMA, there's no negative marking when it comes to the US CPA, so make sure you attempt every single question you see in the examination. After the MCQs, they have something known as the task based simulations. Essentially, task based simulations are similar to the essay based questions that I talked about. However, task-based simulations, you have options to choose from. So let's say they've given you an entire cash flow statement. They want you to fill out certain data points. You can select them, you can choose the right option, but of course you'll have to calculate for the right answer. So these are the paper patterns of both the exams. For CPA, this remains the paper pattern for 3 papers except BEC, where BEC has the first 2 elements, MCQ and task-based simulations. They also have a written communication question, which is essentially where you have to communicate and write a longer form answer. Now that I've mentioned both the paper patterns and the types of questions that you will see in the exam, I want to talk a little bit about the pass rates of these examinations. Now, when it comes to the US CMA, the pass rate, the global average pass rate, comes to anywhere between 40 and 50% for both the paths, meaning 4 to 5 students out of 10 students who write the US CMA exam in the world end up clearing the exam. Now at Zell, the USCMA pass rate is anywhere between 75 to 80%, meaning 7 or 8 out of 10 students who write these exams end up clearing. When it comes to the US CPA, the pass rate for each subject is different. All 4 papers, it ranges between 40 and 60%, meaning 4 to 6 out of 10 students end up passing depending on which paper it is that they're attempting. Now at Zell, this pass rate further shoots up to 75%, meaning 7 to 8 out of 10 students end up clearing the examination. Now, to answer the question of which one is more difficult, I'd probably say the US CPA examination is slightly more difficult compared to the US CMA examination. The reason for this is the US CPA exam is more of an algorithm based exam where, depending on what you get incorrect in the US CPA exam, the exam will keep testing you on similar questions, making it a slightly more difficult exam to pass. However, both the courses are very manageable. The pass rates for both the exams are quite similar, 40 to 50%. The US CMA you can generally complete within 6 to 9 months. The US CPA takes anywhere between 12 to 15 months to clear. So to objectively answer your question, yes, US CPA is slightly more difficult than the US CMA examinations. The most obvious or the best route to clear both the courses is you start with US CMA, and once you've completed your US CMA, you come and pursue your US CPA. So with that, hopefully I've answered your question of which one is more difficult. However, ultimately these professional qualifications come down to your preparations. So make sure you're well prepared before you go to the exam hall, before you write the exams, and I'm pretty sure you'll end up clearing. If there's anything else that I've missed in today's video that you all want to know, please leave it in the comments below. I'll be answering all the questions. Also, our number is in the description box. So if you want to know more about either of these courses, please do get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to help you all. Thanks for watching.